Hello, welcome to Maverrik Live. I am your host Luke 2, and today I'm joined by Vasco Patello.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well.
Fantastic.
Well, it is a Monday, but...
It is, I mean, as well as any Monday can get, we are fantastic. Today we're going to be talking about how to create natural conversation starters, and that can be on any social media platform, because obviously you are very good at chatting. This is why I bring you in most of the time for the show, our resident talker. I like to, before we start, just have a nice little talk about how your day was. How was your weekend? Was it good?
Well, the day's been very challenging because it started straight away, dealing with stuff. So there wasn't like a rest period.
Yeah, there's nothing worse when you walk in through a door and it's just like, boom, I need to get something done, or I need this.
Nah, it was like go, go, go. But it's been good, really. I think when you work in a company that when it comes to the weekend, you look forward for your Mondays, something's going well.
Agree. Otherwise, I was like, when does that ever happen? A company I've worked for. But yeah, no, honestly, I agree. It's something where you don't daunt coming in, but everyone enjoys having that time off to just like reset. I think lately we've had a lot of time off to reset because everyone's on full of schemes and they're just eager to get into the office and just prove themselves and go for it.
And we've also been lucky because we've had in the last months lots of new things coming up and new ideas, and it's just been great challenges.
Yeah, I feel from like May now all the way up to the end of the year, we're going to have people like just excited to get back and rushing and doing things. And part of that will be now obviously improving their sales, improving their messages. People are now have gone out of their hibernation and they're now rechecking their old emails and rechecking their social media pages.
Well, one of the great things about everything that happened was that all of a sudden everyone woke up to a new reality. And it was, how do I get my sales moving? How do I talk to my customers? How do I get my message through? And before they didn't have that because it was always the same, basically. Now they have to look for new ways. And people are looking at these new ways and wondering, what do I need to do to do it correctly?
And they needed to realize that, well, now I can't do my old way of thinking. I can't bust on my Rolodex and call a few people and have a sit down in the coffee shops.
Yep.
I think one of the most painful things of going back into your regular places where you visited from when you're going out on the road, and realizing that some of them might not work the same way, or they might be closed down, because it's going to be quite hard for people to try and get back into that normality, even when they've got all of their vaccinations and they come back on the road. It's still, we've had a shift, haven't we?
Now, total shift. And also it's made most entrepreneurs, especially new business development people, look at the way they do business in a different way. I remember many years ago, I was going around the globe, country to country, going to trade fairs, basically, to open up the company in those countries. And that was one of the ways of doing it.
Yeah.
Now I can stay, in our case, in Plymouth, and I can talk to the whole world, to everybody I want. The problem that most entrepreneurs and new business development people are having is, how do I go about it? What do I say? How do I say it?
Yeah, you can go international now, literally just from sitting at home. I think on the last webcast we did when we do it every Tuesday, we have our training webcasts. Every continent was there.
Yeah.
Well, I won't say maybe Antarctica wasn't there, but nearly every continent was there. I mean, we could have had, we didn't know. It could have been lurking in the crowds. But when we first joined, we're like, oh, hey, where are you from? Just to gauge the audience there. And it's amazing when you see, oh, I'm from this country. I'm from Dubai. I'm from
Well, tomorrow we're going to do a great webcast, which is about marketing agencies, how to grow your marketing agency. And I'm sure, and if you guys go and it's tomorrow at 7 o'clock in the evening, if you go and watch this, you will see people from all over the place. Yeah. And in fact, we already got regulars from those different continents, which is great fun.
Yeah, we never would have got them if we didn't. I think we've got a comment from Richard who said about adapting to the times, which is what we did. We mostly did our live events, and they're going to come back. Hopefully this year when we're trying to get them moving again. But yeah, you adapted, and now from that adaptation, we've got this whole different audience now.
Well, in our case, it was sort of a flip because we had live events as our priority, and then our webcasts were an add-on.
Yeah.
Now it's become the other way, and we've grown the webcast to such a level that's become a primary one.
And going forward, we're going to be going in two. We're going to do the live events. We're going to do the webcast.
We'll carry on that. companies did have to adapt, and those that did not adapt, they're having a problem.
So why, I'm going to say, the reason we're titled here today and we're here today is for digital conversations. And like we mentioned before, because we adapted now, we have started making more digital conversations.
Yep.
A few ways you can do this if you're out there and you're thinking to myself, oh, I'm just chatting, I've got this profile, I pirate some content, but no one actually engages with me. What you kind of need to do to make the digital conversation happen is you need to engage first.
Yep, and you must make it a two-way conversation. You have to create a conversation that people that read it say, I need to talk to this guy.
Yeah.
I want to know more. So, for example, asking open-ended questions is one of them. So what you want to create is a relationship at the end of the day. Because, people nowadays, or companies nowadays, should try and create customers instead of creating sales. Because when you create a customer, then you're going to consequently create a sale, not the other way around.
You don't even need to look at them like customers. You can say about creating that relationship and that small talk. And I think it's kind of a lost art, small talk is, especially online, because you kind of go through motions of, hi, how are you? What are you doing? If you do it well, you can be like, what did you go up to today? How is your business going? Oh, that's a shame, or oh, that's great. Those little bits of like make you want to have that conversation more back and forth.
But the biggest problem that I see with people that are trying to communicate online is one. And this is something that you have to overcome if you want to be successful. You need to nurture your prospect. You need to nurture your client. And it's only by nurturing that you sort of create that relationship, because people do business with people.
Yeah. If you have a conversation with anyone, there's got to be something behind it. So even if it is the smallest information you glean from it, it could be, oh, I shouldn't talk to this person on Mondays because they're playing tennis. Even like the smallest bit of information you get, you then build the whole like repertoire of that conversation with the person next time.
Yeah.
So like you said, when you nurture and you build upon them, you get a better understanding of how they're going to react to certain like questions, when's the best time to reach them. So everything you say on every conversation you have can have its own purpose.
And don't sound desperate. Otherwise you're going to go into the spray and pray method, trying to see if I can say something that sticks, and then nothing sticks. Remember, you land and then you expand. So create a conversation that does that, and be friendly. Talk to, if for example, let's go onto LinkedIn. If you are on LinkedIn, you should have been creating a relationship with these people by your posting.
Some people land and they land straight head first into a ditch because they just try and pitch to you straight away.
Oh yeah, and I've never heard, I'm sure it has happened, but I've never heard of anyone making a sale after connecting and pitching, ever.
If they do, it's probably not a big sale at all. It could be like a few small bits which could get them invested. But at the same time, if you're going to have like this big product or service, you want to grow a company, you're not going to do that with the small bits that come in if you don't, those pitches could just be completely
Talk to the person, ask them how the weekend was, talk to their pain, address it.
Yeah.
Don't go into a sale like you're talking to a friend, like we're talking here. Talk to people like that. And, even better, there are great tools on LinkedIn, for example, to do that now. You can send, a voice mail, a voice message to someone. Do it that way. If you have problems in trying to find the right words in writing and you can't express yourself, then
I remember the first time I got one of those voice messages, and it did creep me out a little bit because it just, people don't really do it. You're like, what? Someone sent me a voice message? It's like a voicemail. You don't get voicemails anymore. But you know what happened? I listened to it. I listened to all of it, and I responded to it.
But you can even do a video.
Like, there's so much stuff which will put you out of your comfort zone of doing, like sending it to someone or saying check this out, like doing the voicemail things.
Yeah.
You always feel a little bit like, oh, I don't want to kind of do that. It's against my we've got a British culture, don't we? Of just like, oh, I'm sorry to bother you, but unless you actually do that, people want conversations.
No,
a lot
they
of the
do.
time.
And after the lockdown, people even want more conversations because they need to talk to people. They need to extract from you some information, and they're happy to go into that sort of thing. And remember, it's not only by the normal LinkedIn direct mail stuff. It's also through emails. Emails work brilliantly. Just don't send war and peace. Short, concise. Remember, everything you do on a conversation is to try to get a person onto a call to talk to you. That's where you're going to do business.
I feel like, as soon as you've got that call, it's not the, that's not the pitch done, but as soon as they're there and they talk to you and you have a more like a fluid conversation, it's so much easier then to close a sale.
Oh yeah, no, because then it becomes a relational thing. You've got things in common, targets, aims, objectives, all of this in common, that you want to help the other person, you want to help yourself because you want to do the sale, but together you can come to sort of an agreement on what it's being done. And it's through a conversation. And remember, the friendlier you are, the better it becomes.
Exactly. So if you're looking to create more digital conversations, what you need to do is be engaging, I'm going to say engaging first, putting out engaging content, talking to people, and just basically using everything you can on the messaging service platform, like I said.
Yeah. And lots of people don't want to know what you know. They want to know what you can do for them.
Or they want to know what they already know, but they want to hear you say it. It's a lot of the time just like, to solve this problem. It's like, oh, by the way, you need to do this. I was like, oh, I thought I needed to do this. Great. And then they'll do it.
Yeah, and one of the interesting things, for example, on let's go to LinkedIn again, is when you send an open-ended question to someone. Hi, John. How was your weekend, for example?
Depending on how well you know John, you'll get a different response then. It could be, oh, it was fine. Or it could be, well, barbecue put it down. Something like that.
Because out of every 10 messages you send out, you should get anything from 3 to 6 back.
Yeah.
Interesting, even enough, is that out of those 3 to 6, half of those will come within 1 hour. So, because people want to answer you. So these open-ended questions are brilliant.
Yeah, because obviously people can come back to them and say, oh, it was fine, or, if they do it too quickly.
And just chat about that, and then slowly drive the conversation to a more professional side, but you've got the conversation going.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for coming down, Vasco.
You're
and thank you everyone for watching Maverrik Live today. We'll be back on Wednesday for our next show. Don't forget to subscribe to us and follow us. We're on LinkedIn, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. Anywhere you can get good quality content, we're there. Thank you once again, Vasco, for coming down.
You're more welcome.
This has been Maverrik Live. We'll see you on Wednesday.
Bye.